Alright, let's go see what we can find.
Hop on board and join us as we make our way from Santa Barbara all the way out to the Channel Islands, with our eyes peeled wide for any large marine mammals. The black-crowned night heron gets its name because it hunts only at night. It does so to avoid competition from other birds, like these great egrets, for example. This juvenile black-crowned night heron may be looking into the water thinking, I hope my plumage will change into the adult coloration soon. The common short-beaked dolphins are incredibly playful and intelligent animals. Here you can see them using some of those open ocean swells and the wake from the boat to propel themselves through the water. Some species of dolphins are known to communicate in a very similar way to humans. They will listen to the other dolphins say 4 or 5 different vocalizations before they respond. In this way, they are communicating using sentences. Admire the barnacles on this beautiful humpbacked whale. These incredible creatures will hunt using what is known as a bubble net strategy. The whales will blow large bubbles that encapsulate fish and krill and drive them to the surface, and then the whales come through the bubble to consume their prey. Notice how there's a very distinct line in the coloration of the environment. Wow, these are blue whales, the largest species of animal on Earth. And funny enough, they feed mainly on one of the smallest creatures on the planet, krill. To sustain their huge bodies, whales need to eat a few tons of krill every day. If you break that down, that's over 4 million krill per blue whale per day. This is quite incredible, as here we saw almost 15 different blue whales all circulating and feeding in this area, which means that there were about 60 million krill consumed in this one whale watching adventure. The blue whale can't waste time chasing individual krill around, so it has to use some well-developed techniques to corral the krill into a small area so that it can gulp them all down in one bite and then use its specially designed mouth to filter out the water and keep the krill. The structure itself that does this filtering is known as baleen. It's made out of keratin, similar to our fingernails. It's designed in a comb shape, with enough space for the water to fit through, but the tiny prey items like krill get stuck, and that way the whale is able to swallow them down. Admire the fluke, or the tail, as these whales make a deep dive. For a seabird, he is surprisingly unhappy looking about being wet. Most mammals have a bias to using their right hand, or their right side, and that has to do with the structures of the left and right hemispheres of the brain, allowing information to be passed more quickly for certain parts of the body. A recent study highlighted that this is also true for blue whales. They put radio tags on hundreds of different whales and watched how they approach prey. In almost all cases, they would approach prey from the right side. Sometimes they would go after prey from the left side, but this would involve a full 360-degree barrel roll, so that once they were actively about to catch the prey, it was their right eye that was facing the food item, and therefore still using that right-sidedness. Interesting to think that these beautiful creatures have silly little habits like we do. That can all be explained by the similarities in the designs of our brain and central nervous system. It makes me very happy to know that I have a few similarities to these giant, incredible creatures. We took a slight detour from the whales, joined by these beautiful birds, to go and take a look at the famous cave of Santa Cruz Island. Even in the big whale watching boat, we snuck right inside this cave. And as you can see, if I had my kayak, I would be deep inside of there. Enjoy the profile of Santa Cruz's guardian. As we can see, there are about 15 blue whales, all in the same area. That raises questions about how the whales are going to interact with one another. As they all need so much food, they have to sort of work this out somehow. These whales will often communicate using song. Alright, go ahead and listen to their song. The beautiful voice of a whale. There are a few things that make these songs fascinating other than their inherent beauty. And one is that these whales will use them to communicate, to find one another, or to potentially space themselves out within a larger group. To accomplish this, the whales will use songs that are about 30 seconds long, filled with different sorts of sounds, to almost form different phrases. These songs are thought to be used in more complex communication. While we haven't been able to figure out exactly what the whales are saying to each other, we have noticed that in different oceans, these whales will use slightly different variations of these phrases. This has allowed scientists to identify where these blue whales are coming from based on their song. This has proven to be vitally important for scientists and conservationists, who can now assess global and regional populations of blue whales just by listening to their songs. As we enjoy these stunning barnacle-jeweled flukes, remember that your choices, whether to litter or recycle, can affect these whales' habitat. So let's all work together and preserve these incredible species. On the way back, we are graced by another fleet of dolphins. Dolphins can travel in pods of 100, 200 individuals, as you see here, to sometimes tens of thousands, all together terrorizing some fish. How is this adorable little baby with its mother? In the dolphin world, babies are made at high speed. Notice the beak on the dolphin. That is the best way to tell these different species apart. At first I thought this was a juvenile seagull, but it's actually a sooty shearwater. And here he is with a couple of his buddies. Take note of the deep sea oil drilling occurring in the back of this shot. Unfortunately, our world relies on oil today, but in the future, hopefully we can change that around. And you can see, not all man-made structures are detrimental to the environment. Not to these sleepy sea lions, that's for sure. Aw man, I want to be in there. Here's our welcome back crew of some pelicans, and some little bitty shorebirds, and of course, a couple more sleepy seals. I'm sorry to wake you up, man. Imagine seeing a blue whale from up there. If you get the chance, come visit this beach-loving town and enjoy the wonderful wildlife. Notice the trademark red eye of this black-crowned night heron. And wave a claw goodbye to the striped shore crab. Thanks for watching. Now go ahead and take a nap like these guys.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned a ton about these awesome animals that call this area home. So I'm going to ask that you continue to do your best to help preserve this environment and work with me and the Havasi Foundation to continue to do so. So I also want to know what you thought about the video and the animals and everything, so head over to the Havasi website and drop us a comment and let us know what was your favorite animal from the video, and also what was the most interesting thing you learned. And of course, feel free to ask questions. See you next time.